All right, with the increased violence, people are pretty up in arms. I watched a video where most of it is bleeped out. You don't get to see the officer's face. You don't get to see the victim's face. You also, I'm going to actually post a link to this because it is incredibly fucked up. Now, a lot of people are going to make the excuse that because this man had a gun, that his murder was justified. No. This is what happens when you have goons that you give guns and special rights. The right to murder somebody and get away with it. It is murder. Or those police were standing when they knocked on his door. Now, first of all, they're making snide comments the whole way there. But second, right now I've got it on the part where they're claiming they're the police and they're knocking on his door, and where they're standing, neither one of them are standing where they can be seen. If this man's got a peephole on his apartment and he's looking at it right now, what's he going to see? He hears people knocking on his door. A lot of y'all want to say, oh, well, they announced themselves as the police. Yeah. Lots of people have pretended that they're the police in order to gain access to people's houses and rape them and kill them. When you can't verify visually that they're police, yeah, going to the door with a goddamn gun is probably the right thing to do. But this guy was stupid. He opened his door. He opened his door like an idiot to look out and see, because those officers were not where he could see them. For all he knew, this could be somebody there to try to rape his girlfriend or fucking kill him over some stupid bullshit. I'm not sure how much y'all know about Phoenix, but that place is pretty famous for a lot of breaking and enterings and murders. What that guy did in opening the door, that's kind of like in a horror movie when somebody runs upstairs like this. You're on the first floor. If you make it out of the house, well, you're going to be a lot better off. But no, you want to put yourself on the second floor. It makes you feel safe to be trapped. So this guy, yes, he came to the door with a gun, and he had a right to do so. See, the Second Amendment was created to protect the First Amendment. What is the First Amendment? That's our right to, well, most of our freedoms. Most of the freedoms that we are entitled to under the Constitution. Entitled to. As Americans, we are entitled to that. That piece of paper, that document, is how they dupe us into paying taxes. How they dupe us into supporting their bullshit and joining the military. But it's all bullshit. The Second Amendment was made so that you could protect your First Amendment rights against an unjust government. What do we have now? An unjust government. The thing is that officer already had an intent and purpose when he showed up. Now that man, first of all, they're yelling at him to drop his gun. He's still in his fucking underwear. Obviously, dude just woke up. Someone's banging on his fucking door. Banging on his fucking door. Goddamn right he went to the door with a gun. And then he's got a flashlight shining in his face. That's exactly what they did, is ambush that man. As soon as he opened the door, he had a flashlight right in front of him, and a man shooting him from behind. I'm at 1 minute and 12 seconds into it. Let's go 1 minute and 15 seconds into it. Oh, officers are still not in front of the door. Still not in front of the door at 1 minute and 19 seconds. 1 minute and 23 seconds. It looks like he's already out the door, so we'll play it at 1 minute and 21 seconds. They're still not in view. I'm gonna turn up the volume on this, and I hope y'all can hear it. Now, what does the man do? What is the man doing? They're telling him to hands, hands. The man is getting down on the ground, when they murdered him, when they executed him. Those officers should be executed. Just like the officers who executed Elijah McClain. He was executed. He was executed with the same methods that could have killed me. But I'm resilient. Those methods also killed Tibor Hatay. Now, this body camera footage, is it acceptable for these officers? Oh, well, they had to make a split-second decision. No, they ambushed the man. The officer in front of him shined a light in his eyes, fucking blinding him, and they're screaming at him. And while he's trying to comply, they don't give him the opportunity to comply. They are already fucking pulling the trigger. What the hell were they even doing there? What possible crime could this man have been doing while sleeping? What possible crime could this man have been doing that was so terrible that he's got police officers ambushing him at his front fucking door? The man was straight up executed. There is no other way to fucking say that. Now let's play those few seconds of it for you again. Now what's happening there? He opens the door, he's got a fucking gun shining in his face. They tell him, hands, hands. What does he do? He puts his hands out and starts getting down to the ground, and that's when he's fucking blasted. BLM is gonna have a heyday with this. Well, he was armed. Does that mean that he should be murdered because he's armed? Does that make it okay? Is murder okay? No, it's not. Is it okay if you're a police officer? No, the fuck it's not. Is it okay for you to own and possess a firearm? Yes, it is. Is it acceptable for you to defend your home with that firearm? Yes, it is. Even against police officers. That man was not outside of his fucking apartment. He was in his apartment, and he was not pointing the goddamn gun at anyone. When he realized it was the police, he did things differently, but he didn't get the chance. It's literally half a second from him realizing that it is actually police to him being shot repeatedly. This man stood zero fucking chance. This is why police need to be disarmed. Police in the UK, you know, most of them don't carry guns. There's a lot of countries in the world where police don't carry guns. Why is that? Here in the United States, we teach little girls that they're all princesses. We got rid of the royals for a fucking reason. Your daughter is not a goddamn princess. And if she wants to act like a princess, she ain't allowed at my fucking house. Here in the United States, we make excuses why it's okay to victimize the most victimized people in America. We make excuses why it's okay to victimize children. We make excuses why it's okay to victimize former foster children. We make excuses why it's okay to victimize the homeless and why it's okay to victimize the mentally disabled and physically disabled. What it all comes down to is your goddamn ignorance. These are human beings. I fully support, not turn a blind eye, but I fully support killing police officers. I'm not willing to kill police officers myself. But at the same time, fuck yes, with all of the people being murdered by police, yes, I absolutely believe that it should be okay if these cops end up with a body count like they're giving us. The police killed 217 homeless people last year. That's almost half of their numbers. Almost half of the people that they killed last year were homeless. And by the way, over half of them were disabled. Yeah, if police can murder people with impunity for being broke, for being impoverished, or for being disabled, yeah, you have the right to defend yourself. The police have guns. If they're allowed to murder unarmed people because they're afraid, and yes, I get that this man was not unarmed, but he also posed no threat at them. He didn't wave the gun at them. He wasn't screaming or shouting or threatening. And those officers, he could not see them through a peephole. There is no way in hell. So how is he supposed to react to that? Then the cops, after they shoot the man, they're talking very nonchalant. Very nonchalant. The tone of their voice, it's almost like they'd done it before. Police aren't taught what it is that you guys pretend. You pretend that our safety and security is their top priority. It's not. Financing, that's their top priority. Financing. How do you get the public to pay millions of dollars to the police department? You lock up every homeless person in the county so that you're at 100% capacity most of the time, and you say, we need more money for the jails. Look at all the criminals. Ryan Whitaker, could his life have been saved by the police doing something while the shit was going on with me? No. That's why the death toll stands at 21. 21 people are dead because the police didn't want to do their jobs when it came to me. Ryan Whitaker is dead because of different situation. George Floyd is dead because of a different situation. But you know what? Elijah McClain is dead over my situation. Natalie Bollinger is dead over my situation. Tibor Hatay is dead over my situation. And they're not even close to the only ones. When I say my situation, I'm talking about a situation that started over a year before Natalie was killed. With police not doing their jobs, with them playing the mentally ill thing. Hey, I went to you because I needed help. help stopping the abuse that I had to endure. But what did I get for going to the police for help? More abuse. But they call me mentally ill, and the courts automatically take away your rights. Your rights do not exist when they call you mentally ill. Now, legally, you're mentally disabled, and you have plenty of rights on paper. But then again, black people have a lot more rights on paper than I do, and their rights aren't observed any more than mine are. Well, that's not true. Black people in houses, their rights are observed far more than any white homeless person's. Because homeless people don't matter. Homeless people are your victim pool. Homeless people, whether you are a police officer or a black person or a white person or an adult or a child or a man or a woman, anyone can take it out on the homeless and get away with it, and all of America knows it. Every single person in America is aware of the fact that if you have a bad fucking day, you can go and take it out on the homeless. And nobody's going to do a goddamn thing about it. Of course, now police are murdering people in houses. Why do people care about George Floyd? Lived in the house. Zaid Atkinson lived in the house. Samuel Leon Lawrence IV lived in the house. Now, Sammy and Zaid were both targeted because people assumed they were homeless. But the situation with Zaid was a direct result of police not doing their jobs when it happened to me. When it happened to many homeless people. And that's the point. The tactics that they used against Zaid Atkinson are standard procedure for when dealing with the homeless, with the exception of the fact that he didn't get assaulted and charged with assault. Why didn't he get assaulted and charged with assault? Because somebody in the house started fucking recording it. That's what I needed. Help being able to do that. Now I'm finally able to, but it's too late. Because when it would have made a difference, nobody spoke up. Nobody. Now, a lot of people claim that they did, but their claims don't match what the police say. And since these people have gone to the police after these situations, it lets me know that, yeah, they were probably up to some no good bullshit. If they weren't telling the truth, then why would they be pissed off about me posting up what they said? Because my privacy, bitch. You didn't give a fuck about my privacy, did you? Fuck no, you didn't. You wanted to turn a blind fucking eye and give me empty fucking promises until I was out of resources, and then I didn't mean shit to you, did I? I support the Second Amendment because the First Amendment is gone. You think that because they pretend that those of you in houses have those rights, that makes it okay? No, you don't have those rights. You absolutely don't. It is a fucking illusion, and the fact that they're able to murder homeless people with impunity shows that. Now, what happened to Zaid was completely wrong, and I continue to speak out about how wrong that was to this day. But I also speak out about how wrong Zaid Atkinson was, and still is. That man knew goddamn well he was targeted for the color of his fucking skin. Wasn't he? Wasn't he targeted for the color of his skin? No, he wasn't. No, the fuck he wasn't. He knows it. The cops know it. But popularity right now is that if it happens to a black person, then it's wrong. And as a result, we are only going to focus on black people. If it happens to somebody who isn't black, we're not going to speak up because their lives don't matter enough to speak up for. The homeless don't matter enough to speak up for. The disabled don't matter enough to speak up for. And that is why they are the most victimized people in America, not black folks. The homeless and the disabled, the reason that they are going through this hell is because to you and your society, they're not human beings. A lot of black people that I know that were homeless wanted to use the race card when they were victimized by police. And they found out quick, fast, and in a goddamn hurry that BLM doesn't give a fuck about you. You're homeless. Merry goddamn Christmas.